Let's now move to Human Resources Department.
So this is our annual report, and our Director of Human Resources, Marion Harrell, is going to give her annual update on the comings and goings of her department.
I don't think she goes up here.
Oh, bless you.
Yeah, it's coming up.
Is it on?
We missed
It
you
was coming up.
badly.
There you go.
I can't see it up here. It's not. I think everything's still plugged in.
Hit the space bar.
Oh, space bar.
Those are delicious.
Well, you know what? I think the slides are in your packet. And I will begin by saying that all teaching positions for the 13-14 school year have now been filled. And I was going to say that the most difficult position to fill was the high school science position, and science positions are becoming increasingly difficult to fill even for
I'm
large
sorry,
school
if you could
districts.
speak to the mic so that they can hear in the television viewing audience.
Okay.
Yep.
I was just going to state that all teaching positions for 13-14 have now been filled, and the most difficult position to fill for this year was the high school science position. And science positions are becoming increasingly difficult to fill even for large districts. Next. Well, that was your slide for all of our positions have been filled. Now, how do I go down to the next one?
He's on his way. Ryan's on his way.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I got it. Okay. This, well, I guess I could go back. Well, part of our previous slide was that a lot of our teachers do have, our new teachers have bits of beginning teacher support and assessment for all new teachers who have preliminary credentials. And our district participates in the Contra Costa County Office of Education BITS to Induction Program. Then we moved on to staff notifications.
There you go.
This year, we've updated a lot of our staff notifications, such as emergency contact information. People move, people get married, things change, and this is information that sometimes isn't updated, but I've sent information out to make sure that we have updated information for those who submit it. Then we have workman's compensation does what's called pre-designation, whereby if someone has an injury and they want to be seen by a particular doctor, that needs to be on file beforehand. Otherwise, Kaiser is our workman's comp provider. And in compliance with the Affordable Care Act requirements that everybody be notified by October 1, the information was sent to all employees. District employees who are employed in a position at 100% are mandatorily enrolled in our benefits programs. Employees who are employed 99, anywhere from 50 to 99% have the option to enroll. But at any rate, the federal law requires that all private employers, elementary and secondary school, and institutions of higher education provide written notice to employees of how the ACA will affect them. Our medical benefits provider, hold on, I know it. It's right at the tip of my tongue. It'll come back to me in just a minute. Provided me the information, and that was sent out. We have, upcoming this year, we will have wrong one. Now, we have reached agreement with ETA on the 12-13 reopeners. That was ratified by the bargaining unit and approved by our board. ETA will be sunshining 13-14 reopeners as well as the district. It may move into successor years as well, but for certain 13-14. And CSEA and the district will be sunshining CSE articles at the next board meeting. For 12-13 to begin, and for then I believe they're looking at 14-16. Any questions?
It's a program, what does that mean? We continued to offer a BITSA program?
Our teachers who have preliminary credentials and need to clear, we are part of the Contra Costa County Office of Education beginning teacher support and assessment program. So we do provide BITSA support for all of our new teachers who need to clear their credential.
How many is that?
Right now, I think we have maybe 3, but I didn't think to to give you the names.
Okay.
Are there any other questions from the board?
I have a couple.
Member Dwin?
Yes. So I have 2 questions. So you said that we filled all positions.
All teaching.
Teaching positions? Okay, not all positions.
The only position we still have available is the instructional assistant position for the computer media at Annie Yates. And
Okay. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
we have a pool of 3 candidates whose applications are being reviewed for interview.
So what about the PE teacher? Is that a position is that a position that's needed, but we don't have a open position for it? You know,
That's still under assessment, and I believe our CBO will be bringing information to the board about that position or about positions.
so that's not an open position?
No, sir, not at this moment, it's not.
Okay.
If I may, because I have the same question. When should we expect to see that?
I believe you should be expecting to see that fairly soon, or that you'll be expected to have the conversation about it fairly soon.
I'm just recalling the 2 board meetings ago,
Mhm.
you were telling the board you would bring back to us this question of PE costs.
Mhm. I remember that request, yes, and the information is available, but the CBO would like to discuss that with the board.
Okay, well, I guess we want to have that discussion before the end of the year because we had only approved hiring
Mhm.
the
No, I understand.
security
Mhm.
monitor per position for half the year.
You're right, the campus, the playground monitor, yeah,
Right.
the noon duty playground monitor. Mhm.
Okay. So hopefully we can have that time
Mhm.
figure out for PE versus continuing the campus monitor.
Mhm. I remember your inquiry.
Any other?
Hold on, I have another question.
Yeah.
I don't know if he wants to answer it.
No.
Part of the difficulty for me is that the position has not been brought forward from the principal to cabinet. This was a request by someone out of the audience to the board. If the board would like to circumvent the process of the site administrators bringing needs to administration, the superintendent, that's fine, but I'm trying to honor the site administrator with regard to the request for personnel, is all. That's why you saw me shaking my head. It was like, we have not had a formal request from the site administrator with regard to this position.
Well,
So the conversation I recall was a request to hire a campus monitor, whereupon we embarked on a discussion about is this the best next use of dollars? And some uncertainty, really, from staff and on the board, whether it was, although it was an immediate need that we wanted to address and not hold up, so that the conclusion was, we will hire this person through December, and that staff would go back and assess whether that was the next best use of dollars, whether PE teacher instead was needed, or some other position, and you would come back and going through the proper channels, have the right discussion, tell us if in fact how we should be spending those dollars.
I do recall the conversation with regard to coming back to the board with regard to the security position. I personally do not remember the conversation with regard to the PE position.
It was like,
We did have a formal request with regard to, from the site administrator with regard to security. We haven't had that formal request from the site administrator with regard to the PE position.
Okay, my second question for Mr. Rail is, how many employees do we have on workers' comp?
None?
None?
Uh-uh.
Okay.
Are the students at NA8s getting physical education now?
As it's been explained, yes, they are.
Okay.
what, are we giving them, the middle school students, 400?
Now, those specifics, I'm not able to answer.
They
Ms.
they are
Lippman or
meeting
Ms.
the,
Allen
they are
will be able
meeting
to
the
answer that.
requirements. They're meeting the statutory requirements. In terms of minutes, and that's, we can have the principal come back and review the schedule that she has with regard to PE, but we went over that in the fall, and she developed a full plan for that, for PE to be fulfilled. And Mr. Bonet has validated those minutes, so...
Is that 400 or is it 200?
Gosh, it's at 400? It's 400 minutes, yeah.
I guess that, I mean, this has been an issue, it was an issue all last year.
Mhm. Yes, it was.
Yes, I would like, and I think the rest of the board would like, and including the student member, to know if this issue has been resolved, particularly for the middle school students at NA8s, in terms of the quality, not just the number, but the quality of the PE and engagement, and the ability of the teachers to convey it. That's why this prompted our discussion last time about the security versus PE was, we heard at least one teacher saying it hadn't been resolved. So I think maybe what we need is a PE.
So perhaps we could have a...
Presentation.
Why don't we, if we could agendize, we do have an annual agendized item of sports, but we don't...
This isn't
We don't
sports.
generally cover
Right, this is
elementary, so I think it would be good to agendize that separately. Perhaps the board president can work with the superintendent to find an appropriate time to
Sure.
agendize that.
We'll take a look at that to make sure that you get the presentation, but that's separate from this request, so we'll bring that back as well. But the big picture, the PE is not considered a sport, although students can learn sports during PE. It is an actual state requirement. And it's a bona fide course. So we do have to look at the quality of that and examine that. But in terms of compliance, right now we have multiple subject teachers teaching PE and being supported by an aide who is also delivering PE sports, games, physical fitness activities, stretching, so on and so forth. To the students K-8.
Board Member Williams-Muller, did you have a question?
Yes.
Please.
I was wondering, are the students, the middle
Speak
school
to the mic.
students... I was wondering if the middle school students at NA8s are getting physical education during their breaks, because most of them are just like walking around and talking, and it's important that they stay active.
Those are questions that would probably be better answered in a more thorough report. I'm just not able to give those specifics.
Okay.
Okay, so why don't we agendize that for a thorough report, and I believe our superintendent has this under advisement, and I will report it back to the board president as well.
This is all the board would like to have this, so,
Mhm.
perfect.
Absolutely. We'll do it as a report.
I have one more question on the personnel opening, the computer aid position. We currently have someone teaching. What is?
We have a substitute teacher in that space right now.
Okay, so she is a 60-day sub?
She's there until we get someone in.
So is she on a substitute credential?
Yes, sir.
And those are limited to 30 or 60 days, so.
Right. So we're
she's
working
not
with that the
there
best.
permanently.
No, she's not.
The whole year.
No.
But you're hoping to hire an instructional aide?
An instructional
I don't know what their
assistant.
proper
An instructional assistant.
certificate is, actually.
Say that again?
I don't know what the proper certificate is.
For an instructional assistant, they have to pass an instructional assistant exam with the county office or have, I believe it is, 60 semester college units. So there's not just a particular certification for that. If they meet those requirements and based upon their other education background and experience, that's the individual that we're looking for.
Yeah, I do take my son every Monday morning to computer lab, and it's, he's in first grade, so it's not going to be that advanced, but it's basically just a typing class following a computer program of home letters, but I'm not seeing facility on, well, here's how you open the computer, here's how you sign in, and here's how you it's typing, so I don't have background in this, but it seems pretty rudimentary.
Okay.
So to fill that position with someone who has a background.
I'm working towards that.
Excellent. Other questions about the Human Resource Department? Hearing none, is there any public comment on this item? Hearing none, let's move to the Ed Spec for ECCL. Thank you very much, Ms. Harrell, for your usual thorough and informative report.